Hi everyone. So we're going to do something a little different today. Hi. And I will absolutely put timestamps so you can skip right ahead to your sign um, and your message if that's what you're wanting to do. But in the intro, I'm just going to take my time and tell you about something I did manifesting before I realized or understood what manifesting was. This is back in 2007. um, I basically chose who I was going to work for, a man and a woman who weren't even working together at the time, though they had in the past. And I didn't know when I made the choice that they were no longer working together. And I feel it's best in general not to tell people what you're manifesting, but in this case, I let the woman know that I was ready to go back to work, but I would only work for her and this particular man. At which time she informed me that, well, we're not working together anymore, so that's not going to happen. He fired me 6 months ago, is what she had said. And I said, okay, well, you just let me know when it happens. Now, I'm not sure why I was confident or if I even was confident that that was going to happen. It was just like, okay, if and when it happens, you let me know. I had a great husband, had a stable foundation. We had money in the bank. We weren't coming from a place of, oh my God, I need this job. Now, that brings up maybe what is my first important point. Now, I wanted to keep everything organized because I think that's important. There's a lot of information. However, it's not the easiest thing to do, and I figured I need to just make this video and we'll go with it, and people can just go to their individual signs and go to your rising sign, go to your moon sign, see if there's additional insight. Plus, I am making this before the shorts. I'm going to make 12 shorts where there will be additional cards pulled for you and what will work for you to get where you want to go with money, with career, with manifesting the job you want, maybe with the very people that you want to work with. So I told my mother and my sister as well, I'm going to go to work for so-and-so. And I know my mother thought I was crazy, but my mother thought I was crazy since I was born, so that really didn't faze me. But in general, I think it's good to not tell people what you're up to. I will also say, these are laws of the universe we're working with, the law of attraction, and there's tons other. I've been really studying this thoroughly, several hours a day for the past 27 days. Today is day 27. I have this huge notebook. I've written at least already 10 pages front and back, just trying to organize and get things in a logical order, because that's how I learn and understand, and I want to use that and give some of that to you guys. I have another channel. I'll probably be doing that over there, but we'll just see how that goes. So, having said all that, because they are laws, you can apply them to love. Very big topic. My SP, my special person or specific person, how I manifested them, or how can you do it, or is it possible? My opinion, and I do have a lot of experience manifesting things in the love area, to the point I even thought, because I mutually manifested, I was manifesting someone as they were manifesting me, oddly enough, because they were interested in this sort of thing. This was about 10 years ago, well, 2014, so 11 years ago, to the point of, if anything takes off where people are interested in what I have to say and my experience, and knowing how I put the steps together and how I did these things. He's really great with technology, so I'd even get him on here to explain his side of the experience, which would be really interesting. He's elsewhere. He lives in a different state now. And obviously we're still really good friends, one of my best friends. So yes, you can manifest the person you want, because if I manifested to work for the very two people I wanted, then why couldn't you manifest? And I know I have, as far as situations and people, but that's a whole other video with the SP manifestations, okay? But these are laws. They apply to everything, okay? Laws of the universe. And it sounds so, like, what is it, like He-Man and the Masters of the Universe? It just sounds so funny, but it's not funny. It's science. So anyways, what I had done back in 2007, I let it go. I told the lady, I'm going to go back to work for you and him. She's like, okay, whatever, he fired me, not going to happen. Okay. There was, and this will make you laugh, I'm sure, but I love it. I love the tabloids, the Globe and the Aquire and the Examiner, and I know it's fun. That's my, of course I don't waste my time so much with it now, but it's good to take your mind off things. So back then, read it all the time, and there was a psychic in the Globe, and he had this column where, he gave you advice and things, and, he sees rainbows. Tell me something. And he had this pyramid. Now, pyramids are very powerful, like in Egypt, but they're powerful for focusing and manifesting what you want. And so, I cut this out from the tabloid. You can see it's really beat up. I've held on to it all these years through a lot of moves, just a lot. And I've kind of let my cats do what they like, so I think they've gotten to it more than I realized. But anyways, on this pyramid, what you're supposed to do is put your request, just like Bob Proctor says. You got to have the goal. You make a goal card, like a little index card. You write your desire there. I am so happy and grateful now that I work for such and such company with such and such people. Of course, I didn't phrase it that way then. I just put, I'm going to work for so and so and so and so, this man, this woman, and I stuck it under the pyramid. Okay, and I left it there. And there was the repetition was involved. We have affirmations here, and I'm going to read those to you in a minute. And I'm just going to read you the instructions. What did it say? Simply place your lottery ticket or personal request for luck in money matters under this pyramid. In days, the pyramid's formidable powers will unleash themselves, and you will be rewarded. To add your own psychic powers to the brew, repeat these ancient words. I'm going to tell you what these words are. And I did it. I did do it repetitively. I remember doing it in the morning and doing it at night. I don't know how or why I knew to do that. So my times of trial are over, and I now move gracefully into a new era. I am worthy to receive the world's riches. I open the byways of my mind to luck. That was the big one for me for some reason. I open the byways of my mind to luck. As I turn the next corner of my life, good fortune will be waiting for me. God's goodness will smile down upon me from above, bringing great earthly and heavenly riches. So obviously feel free to use some of those. And there's 4 sides to the pyramid. There's some love affirmations as well. But this is a video for money and career and things of that nature. Okay? So, definitely leave a comment. Let me know what you're struggling with, what you're wanting. And I'd be happy to do more videos if this is something that people want. I mean, I really do have some amazing stories. I've worked with, in bookshops with other psychic readers, and even the majority of them was like, wow, that hasn't happened. You do have a lot more stories than other people. And I was a bit younger. Maybe that was also approximately 10 years ago, and they were older than me, and I still had the stories. And that's all ego. Stories is all ego. However, there was something to it, and repetition did play a part. I mean, I manifested things that were so specific, you can't explain it away. Because I manifested things you can explain away as well. All right? So, and some of this, sometimes when you're doing it, it's a feeling you have. And that feeling is telling you what vibration you're on. Because you've got to get into the right vibration with where your thing is, where that job is. So I'm going to finish up my job story. So I did these affirmations in the morning and the night for 3 weeks, and I wasn't really, I was peaceful. That's an important thing. I found that's a very important space to come from. Okay, you're aware of what's going on in your life, and you accept it. Okay? You could even play with the how a little bit. How am I going to pay for this or do that? The practical things. We don't want to get too much into the how. You don't want to take the how and apply it to how am I going to get there exactly, the steps, but just how you can see that there's a path and I'm going to be okay meanwhile, so that you can be peaceful to have a place to manifest from without the anxiety. Okay, that's a tangent. We're not going to go there. It's hard for, it's something I'm just learning about now, when you use the how and when you don't, because I'm sure you've always heard, don't worry about the how. I'm going to leave it there. Don't worry about the how for now. Just know where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, we're dealing with the 6 higher faculties that people don't utilize, you know. And again, tangent, let me just stick with the story. About 3 weeks later, I got a call from the woman, and she said, well, you know, the guy hired me back, and, you know, he needs me to hire a couple people to come work and do this thing. And I said, okay, you know, when do I start? It was actually that simple. And I do believe I started this at the beginning of March 2007 when I found this. And she called me towards the end of the month. It was about 3 weeks later. And right at the very last 2, 3, 4 days of March, I had my butt in the seat working that job. And while I was at that job, there was some other manifestations, and I started to realize I was doing something, that there was something to all of this. But I hadn't yet heard of The Secret and all that. And if I had, because it was on Oprah and it was so mainstream, I don't want anything to do with that. I do my own thing. So anyways, I did manifest that job. And I call that my manifestation year, 2007. I've had other years of manifestation and other manifestations since then, of course. But that was where so many things originated. It was the seed. So we're going to get right into this. And I hope that that helped in some way if you sat and watched it. But as we go sign by sign, I've been so drawn to these cards lately, as you might have known in some of my other videos. These are the money and the law of attraction cards. And there are other cards on Amazon, other oracles for different areas of life. However, what's interesting is I didn't come across one that was, you know, the law of attraction for love for some reason. But it does apply. Yes, you can take it to a bad place when you're trying to manifest a specific person. So you do need to be careful with it. And you need to, the main caveat, be careful what you wish for, who you wish for. So Aries, if you're looking to manifest money, you're looking to manifest a specific job, this is the affirmation and the explanation behind it, behind the affirmation, I should say, that will assist you best, because there's so much info out there on law of attraction. This is what will assist you best at this time to get where you're wanting to go with money and career. Achieving success is my natural birthright. This card is a number 4. 4 is the foundational number. You are meant to succeed, and failure should feel bad to you. Life is supposed to go well for you, and when it does not, there is something wrong. But what is wrong is not something that is outside of you, over which you have no control. What is wrong is within you, and you do have control. And taking control is not difficult to do once you understand the basis of who you are, the basics of the law of attraction, and the value of your personal emotional guidance system. Okay, so look into these things. Do you know how many millions and billions of videos there are on law of attraction? And these are Esther Hicks cards. I'm studying Bob Proctor, but it's obviously there's a lot of similar material. So whoever works for you, if you want to understand the law better so you can work with this idea of taking control, because as we say here, it's not difficult to do once you understand the basis of who you are, the basics of the law of attraction, and the value of your personal emotional guidance system. I will also say who you are, self-concept. That's an important concept in manifesting. Okay, let's move on to Taurus. And I would like to hear from you guys. If you're still watching and you're not either of these signs, maybe you forgot to jump ahead, or maybe you did want to hear what I have to say, I do want to thank you for being here with me. And also, it's good to listen to all 12 signs. There may be something that, you're a Gemini, but what I say for Sagittarius resonates. Use it. Use it. You have that feeling, that emotional guidance system. You know what's resonant to you, okay? And on the other hand, if it doesn't resonate, just throw it out. Don't worry about it, okay? There's so many things, so many laws, so many concepts, the way things work that we can use. Now, Taurus, let's see what we have for you. Card number 36. There is no shortage of money or time. There is no shortage, and any attention to shortage of something wanted will always produce negative emotion within you, because your guidance is letting you know that you have strayed from your broader basic understanding of abundance and well-being. Whether you are focused upon the shortage of money or seeing yourself as having only so many years to live, and so each day that is expanded is one day, each day that is extended is one day closer to the end of your years, that feeling of decline is contrary to your broader understanding of the eternal nature of your being. Now, even to myself, it almost sounded like we're speaking a different language here. It's all about perspective, okay? We need to have that idea that abundance is there, abundance is our right, and it's there for everyone. If I get more, it doesn't mean someone gets less. Perspective, change your perspective, Taurus, is the advice. And the affirmation is, there is no shortage of money or time. Money is abundant, time is abundant, okay? And as we get into Gemini, let's see what money and the law of attraction oracle has specifically for you. Okay. I love it, and I'm a Gemini. Number 3, card number 3. Whatever I desire, I can acquire. Makes perfect sense to me. The eternal laws of the universe steadily hold the promise of expansion and joy. Understanding the law will reawaken within you the knowledge of your purpose and your own personal power as you remember how to access the power of the universe that creates worlds. If this time-space reality has within it the ability to inspire a desire within you, it is absolute that this time-space reality has the ability to yield you a full and satisfying manifestation of that same desire. It is law. Okay? If you can come up with it, you can use your imagination and say, you know what, I want that. Or even you look around, someone has that or that or that, I want that. Then you have that desire within you. And you wouldn't have that desire if it wasn't something that you were in alignment with on some level. Like I always say, because I'm 5'1" and I'm 52 years old, I don't have a desire to go out and be a professional basketball player. I mean, it'd be kind of cool, but it's really not something I'm going to do because that's not in alignment with me. But if there's something else that's in alignment with you or something, a certain job, certain people, whatever it is that you need, you wouldn't desire it if there wasn't the vibration you could reach to attract that to you. Okay? So let's move on to Cancer. Money and the law of attraction. What is the message for Cancer today? Number 1. Okay. Card number 1, Cancer, we have my life story and the law of attraction. Okay, so let's see. We'll have to come up with an affirmation. That didn't sound like a affirmation there. Each and every component that makes up your life experience is drawn to you by the powerful law of attraction's response to the thoughts you think and the story you tell about your life. Your money and financial assets, your body's state of wellness, clarity, flexibility, size, and shape, your work environment, how you are treated, work satisfaction and rewards. Indeed, the very happiness of your life experience in general is all happening because of the story you tell. Okay, so it's not so much an affirmation. I'm going to have to end the video here and we'll do a second part for the rest of the signs plus all the shorts. It's not so much an affirmation, it's just Cancer. They're saying to you, think about the story you're telling. You want to tell stories of, use your memory. I had this, I did that. That's what our memory is for, to assist us in saying, you know what, I pulled this off, I went and I got this job, or I did this, I did that. You're going to use that, and you're going to tell stories coming from a point of how successful you are rather than how everything is like, ugh, I'm a victim, and this happened and that happened, and it dragged me down and messed me up. Okay, so that's what that message is there, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you so much.